Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to another edition of the replay where we're trying to make your day. I'm your host, Jabril Rashad. And you know how we do, man. Before we do anything, I want y'all to hit that subscribe, like, and share button as we continue to grow the channel. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring my guys to the stage. None other than, y'all know my boys, Daryl Alexander the Great, as well as my man, Tim Action Jackson from Nebraska, that hard-hitting free safety back in the 80s that they was talking about playing for the Big 8 championship against Oklahoma. Good evening to my brothers. How y'all doing? We're back on another day, man. It's Monday. How y'all doing?
Never better.
Oh, yeah. Blessed and grateful as usual.
About to kill it.
As usual, man.
Kill this show.
Giving a big shout out to our boy Booker, man, who's probably late night cutting that hair still, man. Y'all almost through with that track season. So big shout out to Booker, man. Again, y'all, this is the replay. Well, we're going to make your day. We got some things to talk about, guys, because these NBA playoffs have kicked off. And, of course, man, you know, our Dallas Mavericks laid a goose egg. And, fellas, you know, I was very disappointed with how we started out the gate. You know, you all kind of captivated a little bit more than I did. But thanks to DA, he was giving me those much needed updates, TJ. But we're gonna talk about it, man, and try to figure this thing out before we get into the game 2. So let's just let me see if I got the right video up here, man, to make sure we got the right ones. Yeah, they did a lot of talking, and that's what really hurt the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, that's what really hurt the Dallas Mavericks. But again, let's go back to some of the post-game comments that they talked about. Talk about those post-game comments, man. Again, that's why I replayed it, because the thing that they talked about Kawhi Leonard not playing. I'm gonna come to you first on this, DA. Do you think that it had anything to do with how they started? Granted, they had to lay off. You know, some of the star players hadn't played. They needed some of that much-needed rest. But you know, I get conflicted with that, because I seen Jordan play to the. I'm talking about the last game of the season and start the playoffs. However, you know, they went into this game. They see one of their star players, Kawhi Leonard. He's not dressed out to play. Do you think that had an effect on them mentally going into that game?
I don't think. Well, as humans, you gotta know somebody thought, okay, it's gonna be a little easier without Kawhi. You know, it ain't gonna be as tough a game. Somebody was thinking that, even though they may not admit it. But I think the layoff played a bigger part than most people think. But you know, it's a double-edged sword. You got two players who kind of having injuries off and on all season, so you don't want to take a chance on getting one of them hurt, because if you lose either one of them, you probably just doomed. So they rolled the dice, and I think it's better that they did it this way instead of being at home, because you don't want to go down 0-1 at home. You rather go down 0-1 on the road, make a few adjustments, and you can still try to steal that game too, and everything's all good after that. So if you're gonna do it, it's better to do it while you're on the road instead of losing that first home game. So I still think they can beat them.
Well, Tim, let me come to you. What's your assessment of it when you saw Kawhi Leonard not playing? Do you think it had any effect on how them boys started out?
Well, I actually felt for sure that Kawhi wasn't going to play. I don't think the guys thought. I think the guys thought Kawhi was going to play, because they had what they said afterwards kind of sounded like what Kyrie and somebody else said was that they was playing to, they was getting ready for Kawhi to play, and they felt, a little different. All of a sudden he wasn't playing. A whole game plan. I think the whole game plan was with Kawhi in there. I think the coaches set up a game plan with Kawhi playing in the first game. And so I think that was part of it too. So the guys for as kind of memorizing what they're supposed to do was all set up with Kawhi playing as well too, and the adjustments was set up off of Kawhi. And so with that, when they came in, they had to feel their way. And both of those guys, they wasn't ready for Clippers to double team both Kyrie and Luka. Every time they got the ball, they was double team both of them, getting the balls out their hand. And they probably, if they're gonna do that, they need to start Dante Exum. But I'm getting too far into it. So that's a whole other subject, into what the strategy should be. But but yeah, I think they did. And the layoff, like DA said, and you have said too, the layoff meant something for them because they shot was off. The shot was off. They got a rhythm. The rhythm, all their rhythm was off. The whole team's rhythm was off. They shot terrible from the three, the whole game, really. Yeah. So they never did really get a rhythm. They got a little bit of rhythm towards the three at the end of the game, but their rhythm was really off shooting at three, and then they wasn't driving to the basket because they wasn't used to the double team what to do because they was sitting out on the threes and none of them was cutting.
Well, DA, let me ask you this question, DA. Do you feel that the Clippers, because you text out this regarding Russell Westbrook, do you feel as though the Clippers was trying to play a little bully ball in a sense? They kind of feel like, well, you know what, we know kind of like their constitution, their makeup. So we're going to make them revert back to what we think that they are as far as a weak team. So I think Russell came off the bench with this attitude. We talked about that a little bit. What was your evaluation regarding Russell Westbrook?
Yeah, that's his, that's his style these days, because his skills are diminishing. So he's got to do the extra, to try to get the crowd on his side. He's got to pretend to, be this tough guy. He's always been like that, but it's worse now because he can't go out and get 40 like he used to. But one thing I noticed, PJ Washington wasn't having it. I
was gonna say that.
He was not having it. That's why I said what I said during the game. I'm like, this dude is tough. He ain't backing down from nobody. He swatted Westbrook across the head after they had the little conflict on one end. He came back down the other end and went and whopped him right across his head while he was trying to block his shot. He didn't back down from anybody. So that's the one thing I didn't know PJ could do. But now that I do, I think they'll be all right. Westbrook is a non-factor. He'll come in, hit a couple lucky shots, but him and Harden, as the games get more important, they'll disappear. You won't even hear from them.
Yeah, I thought so too, DA. Because I said when he hit that 1-3, I was like, you mean tell me Russell Brickhouse, man, he hit something? He hit a three? Anyway, TJ,
Westbrook.
They call him Westbrook. Yo,
Westbrook.
Yo, Westbrook. But TJ, what you think, man? You think it was trying to, I think they was trying to ploy a little bit, man, to a little bit of rough house in the Mavericks, man, trying to, make them relegate to an inferior position. What you think?
You're right. Even Zubac, he actually was trying to throw elbows and put his weight on some people and try to do some things as well too. So they had, between him and Westbrook, we could say too, but he's shooting better this year, actually, as a matter of fact, from the three. Westbrook is. So, but he definitely was trying to intimidate. But I would tell you about PJ. You're not kidding about PJ, DA. Yep. PJ stood up and he let you know about business. He had a serious face the whole game. Yep. I love his demeanor. Yep. Man, once he started making his shot to go along with everything else, you ain't got to worry about it. Everything's going to be good, man. Because PJ let you know this is going to be our attitude. We're going to handle this. And
ain't backing down
for this next game going to be a whole lot of fun. Because, Westbrook man, it's funny about Westbrook. He come at people. He look at everybody like, hey, I'm ready to fight. Oh, he ain't about nothing. He ain't about nothing. Walk around all that. Like he fight somebody. You ain't going to fight nobody.
He ain't going to do nothing. He'll go fight a fan or something. He want to be fighting with the fans and all. He watch when he comes to Dallas. He gonna get into it with some fans. Just watch.
Yeah, he trying to exert all that bravado, man. Like he really like that. That's not the case at all. And I saw that. I had a chance to go back and review the tape on him, man. I'm looking at him like, man, that's when your career is kind of winding down. Yeah. You try to revoke some of those tactics like that. Yeah. Like you've never been that. You've been an energy guy. Don't get me wrong, but
fiery. He ain't never been.
No, come on, man. Like you the bad boy Pistons or something like that. Went back and watched some old videos or something like that. Stop it, Westbrook. Stop it. And I think they have woken up a sleeping giant. But I will say this. Let me ask you guys this question, man. I got to get to this right quick. And I'm going to show y'all. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is due to something I heard Kenny Smith say after the game. So the question is simply this, man. when it comes to Tyronn Lue and Jason Kidd, the thing is, who is the better? Well, I say this in the game one. Who's the better coach? I think in the long run, you can say game one, long run, or whatever, overall, whatever the case may be. But before you answer, I raised this question because I like what Kenny Smith was saying here. Listen to this. So, in this estimation, you know, the game plan that Tyronn Lue came up with, the way he allowed the switching and, you know, when the Mavericks switched, it was something that he obviously saw that the Mavericks, you know, do defensively. Of course, again, the Mavericks made those adjustments, but we shot so bad the first half, well, by the time they made the necessary adjustments, it was too late. The game was already out of reach. Now, you can take that for what it is and say it'll carry over to game two, because I definitely believe that we will play better than we played in game one. But overall, I guess let me answer that first. I'll say Tyronn Lue out-coached Jason Kidd in the first game. He had his players ready. They was ready to go. They was focused. For whatever reason, the Mavericks came out a little lackadaisical, a little lethargic, and just didn't have the same energy. They didn't match the same energy like the Clippers for whatever reason. But we can't have a Mike McCarthy situation with the Cowboys, using that analogy. These are the playoffs right now. This is playoff basketball. So you have to be ready at tip-off. So, TJ, I'm going to come to you on that. What is your assessment or evaluation, man, as it relates to Tyronn Lue and Jason Kidd? I mean, is this going to be a series now where Tyronn Lue is going to, you know, mastermind Jason Kidd and not coach him? Or what is your assessment? Give me your fair assessment, which I know you will, because Tyronn Lue kind of been there studying on the bench, you know, and I don't like the way we came out the first game. I'm not panicking. You know, I say one game is not a championship mate. However, I need to know, is Jason Kidd going to get out coached this series? Because we was talking about Jason Kidd at one time or another during the regular season, if you guys remember that. But go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, you know, I was having a conversation actually with my father. You know, we used to coach here in Dallas. We won the city championships and state championship here in Dallas, coaching basketball. And so we was talking about the different styles of the two coaches. And Tyronn Lue is a coach who actually, you know, digs in, makes his adjustment. He makes immediate adjustment. He sees something, he makes immediate adjustments. Jason Kidd coming as a point guard, coach is a little different. He has a little combination of things. He does a little Phil Jackson, a little Rick Carlisle, and a couple other people. He, you know, the coach he coached with the Lakers. He kind of does these multiple things. But the biggest thing he likes, because Rick Carlisle, he didn't like the coach being into his business. He likes the point guards to figure it out. So he kind of like Phil Jackson when he in-game play. And his in-game play, when he coaching, he kind of sits back. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, Luka want him to challenge stuff. No, he wants you to figure it out. And so, which is a detriment sometimes on a game like the first game. They needed a coach to actually adjust right now. Yeah. See, I hate coaches that actually, you know, that are just one style only. You know, I like ones that actually can adjust to the situation and then go back to their style. You know, if he's a coach like the point guard to figure it out, cool. But let me help you a little bit with some things and stuff like that. So right here, let me help you what I see in the vision of it, right? Instead of letting you kind of figure it out and figure out how to adjust it. I do know this though. When you do figure it out and you figure it out on your own, it actually creates a picture in your head that you can see things way better than you ever could with somebody telling it to you, right? So I understand that philosophy of it, but he got out-coached this first game. He definitely got out-coached the first game. He wasn't ready for those double teams that they put on both of their point guards because he didn't put a third person in to adjust. He should have put Dante Exum in real quick when he saw they was double team him. That way they had one guy who could actually bring the ball up, and they had the two other guys. Because them other guys wasn't nobody who going to drive on them real hard. They could have played their three guards, and they would have had somebody who could actually shoot and penetrate in three different people. So to me, that's what they should have done. That should have been an early adjustment with the double team. Then he could have changed it back out. He could have put Dante Exum back out and pull in whoever he wanted to. But he could have made a quick adjustment. To me, that would have been good coaching. So there's some things he left on the table to me. Okay, TJ, let me ask you some. DA, I want you to answer this too, because it was kind of like a two-part question. I kind of left this particular question off on the first part, but I'm listening to Tim talk about, you know, bringing in Exum and certain guys. So I want to ask you this also, TJ, but I want you to answer it too, DA. As it relates to Cleveland, because I almost thought the guy was playing for the other team at one time. For whatever, and this is right. This goes right
in line with what I'm talking about with Jason Kidd not observing his rotation, because to me, I feel like he didn't let Lively play enough and had Cleveland there. Maybe because he was a rookie, he had some time he missed the past couple of weeks or a month or whatever. But speak to that though, TJ. But I also want DA to come in on that too.
Ooh, when he came in, the game got out of hand. That's when the game got further out of hand. When Kleber came in, because Kleber, he's supposed to be 5 out. He's supposed to be playing 5 out with Kleber. Kleber's supposed to be able to hit the 3. Kleber's scared of his 3 shot because he's so off. So he actually just nullifies that idea of playing 3 out. And his defense is good if you're playing against the 4 or a 3, because he plays good against a 3 and a 4, but not against a 5. So why is he in there? So that adjustment should have been taken right back out. He should have put him in there and said, ooh, this ain't gonna work. Put him right back out, put Livingston in. If he did that, he coaching what? He got to coach at a few different levels.
Wow. DA, let me come to DA on that. DA, what's your assessment?
Yeah, that's typical. You know, we talked about it a little bit while the game was going on. That's typical Jason Kidd. And that's why for years I've been criticizing like you said, Tim, like you can't just be one way. Like that's why you're the coach. You like and you don't have any championships. You're not Phil Jackson. You're not any of the coaches you're trying to emulate. You have 0 rings as a coach. So you need to make it's the playoffs. It's game 1 in the playoffs. And you gotta stop the bleeding at some point. You can't. What if your players don't figure it out? You know, sometimes you gotta call a timeout and say, "Hey, man, look, this is what I'm noticing. You know, they're running this, or we need to do this. They're coming out with a double team. He does nothing. It just seems like he just sits and watches the game, and that's not being a coach. If everything's going well, I get it. You know, if your team's making shots, they're making shots. The game's kind of close. You know, a short run will get you the lead back. That's different. But they were excited in LA. Like they were acting like a playoff game, and he was not acting like a playoff coach. Like you can't just let your team just get. You know, it's like the Mavs were getting 1-2 punch. It was something we ain't seen in a while. That's where you as a coach have to say, we good. You know, everybody sit down, we good. Luka, man, you got to make them shots. Kyrie, hey, you've been here before, man. Let's get these guys going. You know, you gotta get in their heads to make them say, okay, man, look, you got to make them want to go out there and run through a wall, man. And to me, he just doesn't seem like he got it. He's got that kind of that mentality as a coach.
Well, I'm gonna say this right quick before we segue into this other topic we got to get into. The Dallas Mavericks. The thing I like about them, at least within the past 2 months of the season, they went back and was always make those necessary adjustments. But Jason Kidd, I'm hoping that he don't turn into the Mike McCarthy this season with the Dallas Mavericks by not playing the certain players when they should be played. You know, I just saw too many things, man, that kind of got us exposed. And I don't want to read too much into it, but because again, I just think it's the whole mental thing, like you talked about, DA, before you even come out and touch the floor. You got to understand, this is playoff basketball. What you did in the regular season, this is not what this is. Every shot is going to be contested. Defense, it tightens up a little bit. Even Paul George was saying in post game, he said because he finished between 2 points, and you thought he would have had a better shooting day himself. He said they played me tough. He said they made it difficult. He said I'm gonna go back and watch film and see what they did. Everybody's gonna make adjustments, and that's what playoff basketball is about. Everybody lost. Okay, so we're not the only one. Everybody lost, so it's gonna be real interesting in game 2. For all the teams that lost, it's gonna be really interesting come game 2. So guys, we're gonna go ahead and quickly segue over to this next game, man. I want to know is the Los Angeles Lakers, who lost to the Denver Nuggets, are they the Lakers or the Fakers? Because the Denver Nuggets have topped them again. They lost 114 and 103. And let's take a quick look at some of these highlights. You see AD on the block shot right there, but they keep coming back and can't keep this boy Jamal Murray, man, from driving. And they was active. And one of the stats they talked about, I kept talking about, man, was how the Lakers shot 79, I think put up like 79 shots to like 102. So right off the bat, that's hard to beat a team. That means you're not getting second and third chance shots. So Denver is creating turnovers, beating you to the glass, whatever it is that they're doing. They got the Lakers number, man. And come fourth quarter, you see, that's too much Joker, man. Big body who finished with 32 points in the game. But Denver just know how to play the Lakers, man. They know how to play them.
Yeah.
So again, they ended the game 114-103. So TJ, I'll come to you first on this one. Let's talk about it, man. Is the Lakers fakers, or is it just Denver, man? That's what I want to know. Is the Lakers fakers, or is it just Denver? Before we do that, let me give a shout out to my man BJ, man. He's a big Lakers fan. You know, he's a Dallas Cowboy guy. He'll tell you he is a Dallas Cowboy guy. But when it comes to basketball, the Lakers is his team. So we're gonna give a shout out to him, man. He you know, he always putting up the Lakers, talking about the Lakers in 6 and all of this. And I saw that. You saw that? I told him I had my emoji while I was laughing, cracking up, like, man, why do you do yourself like this every year, man? I mean, you know, you getting a double dose because you got Cowboys and Lakers. You know what I mean? I got Cowboys and Mavs, but okay, I guess we cancel each other. That's my guy, though, man. But he always talking about let go Lakers in 6. But anyway, Tim, answer that question, man. Is the Lakers fakers, or are they just, you know, Denver got their number? What you think?
We see, I used to be a Laker fan back in Showtime. You know, always growing up.
Oh, it's coming out the closet.
That was me, man. Because we didn't have a team. We didn't have a team, so that was my team.
No!
We didn't have a team at that time, and so
that's why it was
my team.
Way, guys.
Huh?
When we didn't have our team, we got our team in 1980.
That was 80. I lived the life. I'm talking about growing up. That's what my team was.
That's what I'm talking about.
Then when we got a team, it was Mavericks. So it was simple as that. So it was over then once that happened. Of course,
let me ask you a question. I want you to
still switch for Kobe and all that. That's another subject.
But hold on for a second. But why didn't you go with the 76ers, man?
No, I did have 76ers too. When they had Dr. J, that was my favorite player.
Favorite player, but your favorite team was just the Lakers.
When they got Magic. Yeah. Dr. J
I always thought that was a conspiracy game. I'm just kind of going down history a little bit because when they beat Dr. J Magic his rookie year, oh man, I was hollering conspiracy. There's no way Kareem Abdul-Jabbar don't play and Magic go to play the 5, play the center position, and they beat Dr. J in the 76ers. I thought it was just a conspiracy. But anyway, I understand, man. But go ahead. Let's fast forward to 2024 now. I had a memory, Phil. I had a memory.
I ain't mad at you. I understand. LeBron empty points James didn't score no. Seriously, man, he don't score the important points in the fourth quarter unless it's wide open or he's driving to the basket because he's a freight train driving to the basket. And nowadays, they're not willing to step in front of him or knock him down or hit him, right? So when he drives to the basket, he has no problem. If you go and play him though and face him and get in front of him, he doesn't drive the basket. He has a hard time getting to the basket driving left. And so you play him to his right, and he doesn't drive left. He don't go to the basket. He pulls up and shoots the ball. This is his deal. Unless you let him value, because he's quick. He's faster than some of the guys. They're getting older now, right? So empty point James, they did that. They took care of that. They put a guy that's on the side to make sure if he did dribble his left hand, they can knock the ball out. So he didn't dribble it that often. He kept passing the ball, became passive, and he looked a little lethargic because he's missing his shots as well too that he shot in the fourth quarter. So when he's not there, and then them other guys, D'Angelo Russell played like he did last season. He's been playing great the whole season long. And he played like last season. He gonna play like that in the playoffs? It's really, they gonna get swept. He has to play better. If he don't pick it up, they're gonna get swept.
And they was talking about him earlier too, D'Angelo playing, playoff basketball as opposed to regular season. But DA, what's your evaluation on it, man? I mean, I want to know, are these boys fakers or just or Lakers? I mean, who would the real Lakers please show up? I don't know.
Man, let me give you my quick history. I was a Boston Celtics fan, and then when Mavericks got a team, I was a Maverick fan, and they made the 3 European picks for the first round, and then Sean Bradley maybe later. I dropped them. I was like, nope, I don't want to be a part of that. I became a Laker fan when Kobe hit the scene, and then I dropped the Lakers when LeBron hit the scene, because I can't see
Here.
myself pulling for LeBron. So I'm glad Kyrie went to the Mavericks. I didn't have a team at that point. So anyway,
Wow.
so I ain't had a team since LeBron went to the Lakers. But anyway, man, I mean that's where people that's where you gotta cast your vote for the GOAT. Goats don't disappear at no, especially no fourth quarter in no playoff game. It don't even matter if you lose. If you lose, you need to be able to say, I got 52. I couldn't do much more. You ain't letting your team just get pushed around. You ain't disappearing in the fourth quarter. He does that way too much. Way too much. I just have a hard time. He's the greatest talent the league has seen, as far as, he's the face of the league. He's the most popular, maybe, basketball player in a while. He's a phenomenon. He just ain't got that killer heart that you have to have for somebody to call you the GOAT. Like, you got to be walking on the court like Jordan would do. I'm finna drop who y'all got on me. I'm finna drop 50 on this boy. What? I can't believe y'all got to. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that. So how you gonna be a GOAT if you ain't got that? That's what dudes on the street got. But anyway, I just don't think they can handle Denver. I think they're 0-8 against them. The last 8, maybe. I heard something like that. So I don't think Denver's got to really worry, because LeBron or AD are going to go down, on top of the fact that they just don't play well against Denver. So they're not. It's just hard, man, when he keeps trying to pick these players and pick it's like, just play. Just focus on the fourth quarter. Go get 16 in the fourth quarter. Don't worry about who they're going to bring in next year. Just come. Don't worry about where your son coming to the Lakers. Just go out there and just dominate. Think basketball first for a change.
Right. Well, I tell you something,
man. I gotta apologize to my man who's a Laker fan. I'm supposed to be, but I can't pull for LeBron.
Yeah, well, I'll say this, man, and I will concur with you in regards to his talent level. I think coming out of high school at the age of 18, he's been the most scrutinized player probably to ever played the game. But it is what it is at the end of the day. I do recall the great Kobe Bryant once, when the Lakers had played, and when he was in the GOAT conversation, something that you just said.
He just like Murray's dunk too.
They played the Suns, and I remember his whole approach towards the game was he didn't take a shot. If y'all recall that, he didn't take a shot against the Suns because he was trying to prove a point. And that's when he fell out of the GOAT conversation forever with me, because I said, I'm gonna tell you something. Jordan would have never done that. Michael Jeffrey Jordan would have never done that what Kobe did, God rest his soul. Well, he did not. Every time he passed him the ball, he kept passing it away. Mm-hmm. He would throw it or he would pass it away. I said, if Jordan would have went out like he did against Boston with 63,
that was against the Phoenix Suns, as a matter of fact.
Huh?
That was against the Phoenix Suns, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was against the Suns. And so what I'm saying is, I think they need to stop making these GOAT conversation, man, as it relates. If you want to say, Kobe and LeBron or Allen Iverson and Kobe, you want to do that. But when it comes to the game of basketball, and again, I was not a Michael Jordan fan, period. I was Isaiah dude and still am. But real recognize real. This dude is the greatest player I ever seen, man. Lace him up, period. And it ain't even close in my estimation. So when you talking about the artistry, man, and everything is kind of like the moonwalk. Michael Jackson once said, I didn't create the moonwalk. I just enhanced it. So when we know it's a whole lot of cold pop lockers, guys that was doing the moonwalk, like Jeffrey Daniels with Charlemagne. But the point is this. Michael Jordan is just in a league of his own. And when you see, a game like LeBron played the other day, they wanted to make all these excuses, especially Shannon Sharp, because, he talked about how, and Keyshawn Johnson, by the way, how he asserted himself in the first half. Oh, he didn't have anything left. He put so much into it in the first half. Are you kidding me, man?
You played the whole season. Are you kidding
me? You understand? And this is playoff basketball. So stop it. At the end of the day, the Denver is just a better team. Lakers might be able to, to save face, man. They may win a game. But when it's all said and done, the Denver Nuggets will have defeated them in another series. So I'm sorry, BJ. I'm sorry, Laker Nation. It is what it is. And for the record, once we got our team in 1980, I know the first player to ever hit the first points in the Mavericks history, which happened to be a Muslim, by the way, Abdul Jelani, the first player to score a bucket. So that's been my
Really?
mob going through. I may have, Jordan may have been my favorite player later on. As overall, my favorite guard has always been Isaiah. But yeah, in terms of team, I've never looked back, man. Even with the Rowdies and the Cowboy hats and the Donald Carters and you maybe want to shout. And I hated it too, though, DA. It was enough during that period to make you jump off still, especially when they started drafting Ube Blob and Jeff Foreman and Steve Alford. It was enough to make you jump.
I did. I don't like nobody taking advantage of me. And when teams do stuff like that, I feel like they take advantage of me as a fan. I don't like it.
I got it, man. But I just think it was all said and done, man. It's gonna be the Denver Nuggets all the way, and there's no question about that. So, guys, I got another topic we got to get into, man. This is gonna be outside of the NBA playoff, but we got to talk about it. Saturday night, there was an upset, but it wasn't in the game of basketball. I'm talking about Garcia versus Haney, and man, it was a boxing match that did not go Devin Haney's way. I was, kind of surprised by it, but it is what it is. So let's see some of the highlights to this thing, man. We're gonna get your take on it.
As frequently as it needs to happen. Oh, he's got it right again, and down for a second time. It's Devin Haney. 6, 5, 6, 7.
See what he talked about when some of the comments that he said after the post fight. He was clowning, man.
I was trying to see what's the score. So what's the score?
That I'm not sure of, but I think they have.
I was trying to look it up.
You're talking about it was two of them scored it pretty big, and one of them.
No. I mean their record against each other.
Oh,
against each other, yeah.
No, I didn't look that up.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Devin Haney might be ahead of him, but he said he gave him a shot. He should rematch him. He said because he didn't even make weight. That's why he was talking about he was a little fatigued. This was what Ryan Garcia talking. I was kind of surprised he didn't give my guy. He didn't give my guy Derrick James a shout out or credit, or maybe I just happened to miss that because he did take on Derrick James, and we know Derrick James was our guy trainer. He fought.
Was that Bernard Hopkins?
Bernard
Hopkins in there.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was trying to look up their record, but I can't find it.
What I saw what I saw with Garcia, and I kind of watched him with him fighting Tank as well too. That actually, I don't know why it was such a surprise with his skill level and that left hook if he got up on you. You know what I'm talking about? Because he before he fought Tank, everybody felt good about him. So it's kind of funny that narrative changed after he lost that fight. And because he actually boxes really well, and he actually in close range, he throws a lot of punches. He's really aggressive. And he's probably grown a whole lot since Haney last fought him. So, I need to know that information a little bit better, how they fought before. But in this fight, he outclassed him. He outclassed him this fight.
Yeah. One of the judges had it a draw, didn't he?
Huh?
One of the judges had it a draw.
Yeah, silly time.
I'm like, man, what?
Yeah. I was thinking about Earl Spence Jr. When he let Derrick James go, and I saw Derrick James over in the corner with him. He was one of the trainers. I know he started training with him because he had him and the heavyweight fighter Josh. I forget his last name, but Josh, can't think of his last name right now. But anyway, so big shout out. I want to shout out to Derrick James too, man. I know that was a big bounce back for him after having suffered such a defeat with him and Earl Spence when they went up against Bud Crawford. But yeah, these guys have fought numerous times. They've even sparred, so they know each other. And I know Devin Haney was saying, Ryan Garcia is known for that left hook. And he got caught with it early. And I think he said he was more shocked than anything. And, I think he never really fully recovered from that. And momentum was definitely in Ryan Garcia's favor. But I don't know how this is going to taint. And let me ask you this, DA. Do you think this fight and him losing, if they repeat, I probably would go ahead and give it to Devin Haney, but will this have any effect on him trying to get Tank in the ring, Tank Davis in the ring?
Yeah, he probably got to wait, right?
Well, it all depends on how he bounces
You know what
back.
I'm
I mean,
saying?
if
You saying Haney, right?
well, I'm saying Devin Haney, because the whole thing was
But
supposed
after
to
you
be
get beat
Devin
up,
Haney fighting
after
Tank
you
Davis.
get beat up like that, you can't be rewarded with a big fight. Like, I mean, I don't think so. We'll see. But after you make a showing like that, you probably have to go behind another fighter or two. He probably cost himself some money in the near future. He'll probably
another year.
Yeah, you can't. I just don't think you can be awarded that big fight after you've gotten just demolished in the ring like
Well,
that.
I think, but let me ask you this though, because let's look at it this way. I think if you, at least he didn't knock him out. Yeah, he knocked him down. Three knockdowns. He tried to come back and recover from it. He gave him. It was a fight.
Yeah,
he
was winning the other rounds. Yeah,
exactly. So if I think if they were to, it's not like an Earl Spencer Bud Crawford where he really damaged the guy's eye, this, that, and other. I think if he can come back, he had a busted lip. But if he can come back, I think they do it again within 6 months, right? And he really come in and take care of his business like a Sugar Ray did when he fought Roberto Duran. I think that you can still make that fight with Tank Davis and it'll be one of the biggest paydays. Now they had Shakur Stevenson name that came up, but Devin Haney at the time was saying that he was going to make more money had they fought at the time which they was trying to put them together. He was going to make more money than he would have made in all of the fights he fought. But Steven didn't take the deal. So I don't know. TJ, what you think?
I was thinking about this. Somebody else gets the belt because he lost his belt, but Garcia didn't make weight. He didn't make weight, so he couldn't get the belt. So I don't know who they're awarding the belt now, but somebody else got the belt now because Haney lost his belt, but he didn't lose it to Garcia because Garcia didn't make the weight. So that was kind of strange. Garcia's kind of heavy now. He's gonna have to eventually move up to welterweight or junior welterweight or something like that. He got to move up. He got to move up another class here coming up. But they'll probably fight. He'll probably be in this weight class for another year or so. And he might have to go move up a little bit because he's having a hard time making weight now. He's a tall dude. He's taller than his opponents, most of his opponents.
Yeah.
He got to get a couple tattoos too. So that make him tough.
That make him tough.
Yeah, you get some on his neck. You get some boxing gloves on his neck or something.
I don't know, man. He said he's coming from 88. So I was just kind of like, man, what's wrong with him, man? I don't know. He was just on one, man. It made me to check his drink like they did Aaron Pryor back in the day. He kept, his trainer kept telling him, "Give me that bottle." Yeah, no, give me that.
Give me the other one.
I don't give me the other bottle. He's so obvious too, man. Give me that bottle. So I don't know. Nothing has been reported. So we'll see how it all bounces, how it all plays out in the future because they both have agreed that they will fight again. And like you said, Tim, he made it aware that he didn't make weight, so he didn't lose, and plus he gave him the opportunity. So let's run it back, and I'm hoping that somewhere down the road they will make that Haney and Davis fight. I do think Tank is just on another. I mean,
Hey, can I ask you a question, Jabril?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about Haney's skills? You too, DA. I want to hear y'all skills. What y'all think about Haney's skills?
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I hadn't seen a lot of. I seen maybe this was probably my third or fourth fight watching Haney, and what I've seen, I wouldn't take him over Tank Davis. I probably would have gone into this fight. I probably would have took Haney over Ryan Garcia. Now him and Shakur Stevenson, that's a coin toss, But Tank Davis, man, his power, his left and right hand to be that size is just remarkable. So I just don't see nobody out there beating Tank Davis. What you think, DA?
I think Haney's got to go back to the drawing board, man. He might, after this fight, it could be some mental consequences. Like, when you get beat like that, it's kind of like when our boss Earl Spence got beat. It makes you think like, man, I took a real whooping, and the mental in any sport is way more important than people think. So he's definitely not ready for Davis. He's gotta beat up somebody his next fight to get that confidence back. 2 more fights to get that confidence back, then bring it back. Because I don't think he's ready right now. Like, you got to do something in between that's not usual for you.
What you think, though, Tim? You asked the question. What you think about?
Well, I'm actually agreeing with both of you guys. I actually know. I know he can't mess with Tank. I've watched Tank quickness. Tank quickness is way above those guys. Plus, he's close to his size, so Tank could get to him much easier, much quicker. Plus, his defense is a lot better than him. So that's one of the things I saw, that his defense is not that good. And once your boy hit him, though, I will be wondering if actually they fought again, if he wasn't so dazed. Maybe, I think they just clouded his whole match for the rest of the fight. So maybe he would fight a whole lot better again and maybe have a little bit more confidence. He may have came to that little fight a little bit more overconfident because of his past history. But I will tell you, Garcia is better than he was before because he boxed better than he did against Davis. But
man, I got to find that record. I got to find that record.
Yeah, I know. So. Davis, when he was boxing Davis, though, he showed he had skill. I was watching him. I was like, okay, Garcia can fight because he was moving pretty good, but Davis actually quickness, and they was measuring each other out really well. But Davis is a little bit quicker than him, and Garcia is quick, but Davis quicker. Woo, boy, that boy got some quickness to him. Go ahead.
I certainly think so. No, I certainly think so. I think that Ryan Garcia definitely. That's why I said I was kind of surprised that he didn't acknowledge Derek James, former trainer with Earl Spence. Because I know in that camp, Derek James was getting him right and showing some other different styles and movements. I wish he would have done that with Earl Spence. They had the same antiquated game plan, going in thinking you was gonna roughhouse and wear him down and break him down. And Bud is he's
Bud is the top dude.
Okay, and he got quicker.
He don't play that.
And I know, even though D8, let me say this, because even though I remember after the fight, I remember a comment that you made regarding how you wouldn't want to see it. I was saying I would, and it was only based on this. Now again, I put a caveat in there. I said if he's not right, I care about this young brother's health more than anything, because getting thrown from a vehicle the way he got thrown from that vehicle, man, that was something in God and his angels. He gave a command to the angels to watch it. But I'm saying this though. I had said this before it even came out. I said, man, I know a little something about boxing. We was up at Turnkey, D8 and Oak Cliff. I said he went from one extreme to the other extreme. You go from dry heat to humidity heat or whatever the case may be, and he's training up in Colorado. Well, you're not exerting yourself. And so when he come out, he was already looking down, lackadaisical and fatigued. You're gonna go in the ring like that, and I just knew. I said, man, this ain't his night. From the first round, I knew that. So again, man, I want to see him run that particular fight back, but only if he passed the physical. I would love to see. Let him bring in even if you got to go get Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, let him train. Let him, because you've been one way, one style for the great majority of your career, and you're gonna go in and fight a guy who can fight with his left and his right, like a Bud Crawford, but. Not to, we'll wait till that fight. Hopefully it's made. We get a chance to see that fight, man, before this year is out. Who knows? Because it's coming up on a year, and it seemed like it was longer than that now. Don't it seem like it was longer than that? That fight maybe a couple of years now ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that ain't never made a year yet. So, it's something to think about. But I would like to see it, man. But we'll see. Like I said, I think Tank Davis right now is the guy to beat. And I don't see nobody out there, man, unless they keep talking about the Boots guy from Philly. And he's nice. Don't get me wrong. I think Boots deserves his opportunity, his chance. But for some odd reason, people ducking and dodging, Rick. Maybe they feel like they can't get the money fight out. I don't know. But the guy deserves his chance. And I think it'll be very interesting if Boots get a chance to get in the ring with a Devin Haney or even a Ryan Garcia now. But even with him, I don't see the power, the punching power that I see in Tank Davis. I just don't see it.
No, neither do I.
Okay, guys. Well, I tell you what, man, we're coming up on the last topic and segment of the show, man. And I couldn't do this show. We're getting real close to this NFL draft. The 2024 NFL draft. We're getting real close. And I don't know if you know DL would have laughed. I don't know if much have changed at
I
all.
tried to hold it. I tried to hold it, man. I apologize. I tried to hold it.
That's okay. I don't know if anything has. Let me see. This is one of my
I saw
drafts
that
right
cut.
here. Still Caleb Williams, number one. I think it's some change. I know DA. I saw that too with Minnesota. They're talking about switching positions and all this other stuff. Don't be surprised if Jaden Daniels is the number one quarterback coming off the board. But having said all of that, guys, something came up and I was looking at it. I said, who knows? Who knows? Now, what if this guy right here falls into the hands of the Dallas Cowboys when they get ready to draft?
Amazing. Well, how do you stop that? Listen, the coverage was first down yardage.
Michael Penix Jr., a possible Cowboy.
Heaves it down into the end zone. Touchdown or doomsday for the second time tonight. Yeah. Penix from the pocket spins free.
Somebody must be watching our show. 2 weeks ago, I put a hypothetical of Michael Penix Jr. being drafted by the Cowboys. If y'all don't remember, it was 2 weeks ago. Somebody watching our show.
On the sideline this time. Cannon shot down the middle. It's a touchdown.
One thing we cannot deny, that kid definitely has an arm. And before y'all, let me show you this one last video, his 40 time. 4.46. I'll take that from a quarterback
Who don't like to run.
A 4.46. Our 4.46. So it's been put out there, guys. If he falls to the Dallas Cowboys, who I think had a 21st pick, right? I think they had a 21st pick. 24? Okay. I thought it was either 21 or 23, but you're saying 24. If he were to slide and fall back, he ran a 4.46 at his training day, combine in Washington. But if he slide there to the Dallas Cowboys, do you take him, TJ? Do you take him?
No, 2 weeks ago, I made that hypothetical that the Cowboys, with everything they're doing, I said this 2 weeks ago. Guys, come back and come watch our show. And you hear this type of hypothetical I made about Cowboys picking Mike Penix Jr. And then D, of course, said, yeah, I knew you was joking. I knew it when you said it, you was joking. I was, and I wouldn't pick him this time either. But I wouldn't pick him, but I would do this. I would pick him if I'm trading Dak.
There you go.
The story we had last week, I would pick him. That way I have Trey Lance and him to actually go through it. And I think he should do it the next season as well, too. So let me go back. Matter of fact, I would trade back because I think he's going to be there at the end. I would trade back, get some more picks, and actually and then draft him because I think he's going to be at the beginning of the second round. So and I think the Raiders are going to get him if nobody else gets him early.
Well, you know, the Raiders are talking about pulling a Kansas City Chief type thing where they giving up picks just to get Jaden Daniels. They even put him in a uniform at one time. They really high on him. So that's going to be interesting to give up a lot. Yeah, because you're talking about maybe one or two, you know, to get up there to get him. So you give up a lot.
3 first.
Yeah. But DA, what you think? You think if he slide all the way to the Cowboys, do we take him or do we go ahead and go out to the center, man?
Man, it's just exactly what Tim just said. The only way you can consider getting him, because Cooper Rush is your second string quarterback. Like that's the Cowboys. They're gonna hold on to Cooper Rush. He's a good guy. You know, he got us 4 games that one year. They're gonna hold on to Cooper Rush. You ain't gonna have 3 brothers in the quarterback room. So just forget about that, Jabril. But like Tim said, if you're gonna get him, and if it were me, I would say let's get rid of Dak. Let's load up on some players. Get rid of Dak.
I agree.
Bring that boy Michael Penix in. Let's go. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Dak ain't done nothing anyway. I'd rather rebuild with him. Him and Trey Lance, 1-2 punch. If they can both work together, man, I would get rid of Dak in a heartbeat.
Yeah, we talked about that last week too, man. And I just think
it's get Michael Penix.
It's just time. I'll take my chances, brother, because at the end of the day, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. I'll take my chances because if I got a Trey Lance, who's a former top 5 pick, and he needed just a little bit more seasoning on his belt. And you were to get now, don't get me wrong, my guy really would be Shedeur Sanders, but that's so far in between. We're talking a whole year or so away. So if this guy fall in your lap with the kind of cannon of an arm that he has,
he does.
You know what I'm saying? The only knock really was on him was I don't think he was statue. Well, his health, right? Because he had the AC, injury when he was playing for the University of Indiana Hoosiers. But that's been the only knock on him. But this past season, I think if you were to bring him in on a little veteran leadership like a Dak Prescott, if you were, thinking about keeping Dak for only one more year, I'm just saying if they made that move, Cooper Rush got to go, man. I'm not gonna have no issue with three brothers being in the. I'm just not. It is what it is. Baltimore didn't have it. I think Baltimore had Robert Jackson, they had Robert Griffin the third, and I forget the other quarterback's name. He was number 2. I know
you're talking about.
One from UCLA, I think.
Yeah, I know it was 3 brothers in there. So
is it Hunt? Was it Hunt?
Yeah, I think it was Hunt.
Yeah. So man, I mean, miss me with that. I'm saying if this guy slides to you, I'm not saying that they will, but it's it's gonna be hard not to if you're talking about the future and you transition. Because I'll just cut my losses.
Say you could, man. You gave up Dak. If you gave up Dak, you could get you the lineman you need and those 2 quality linebackers that you missing on the defense. Put that boy Penix back there or Trey Lance, whoever. Get your other pieces and let one of those go. If Trey Lance is not that dude, Michael Penix will get in there and he'll get you to the playoffs.
I believe so. And you can get
to the right.
And you can get you. Hold on, Tim. You can get receivers because I think Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son. I think he's gonna be there. And I think it's kind of like one of those deals when I've said this before, out of their own mouths, Jerry Rice as well as Randy Moss stated that they wanted to play the Dallas Cowboys. So could this be a situation where fast forward years later, the son comes and do what his dad would have done had the Cowboys taken a chance on him? Who knows? But we got to replace Michael Gallup. So go get a young Rice. Absolutely, I'll take that. Go get him. Go get Rice. If this boy Penix is sitting there, go on and get him. Cut your loss. Don't give Dak no 55, 60. This dude is not no 55 or $60 million quarterback. And you're not going to hold me at the bank with a pistol. You're not going to do it. I'm not going to let you do it. You're going to sit here and rob me blind, and I can't get nothing out of the deal. I can't even get an NFC championship game. I can't do it, DA. I can't do it, Tim. I can't do it, and I won't do it, man. I've seen enough of Dak Prescott. If you got a young Michael Penix Jr. waiting in the wing and a former number 5 overall pick and a Trey Lance, I'm going to cut my losses, bro. And Mike McCarthy better coach. See, here's another thing, too, because I've seen the greats like a Bill Belichick do more with less. I've seen seasons where the Patriots wasn't supposed to be there. The year that Brady got hurt. I mean, so come on, man. It's
the absolute. This is, I think, decisions like this, forks in the road like this. This is what makes or breaks your organization. Like this is the perfect time to do something like this. People can't imagine it because it's the Cowboys and it's Dak and it's so what? You see how he chokes in the big game. This is the perfect time. Like everybody thought Cowboys at least getting to the NFC Championship game against the Niners. That was like, hey, man, we can see this matchup coming. You got the 2 seed. You got the 2 home games. You got Dak healthy. Everybody's healthy. It's when that crashed, that's the perfect time to say, you know what? It's time to go right instead of left. Man, let's get rid of Dak. But Steven ain't gonna. It's probably more Steven than anything. He's the one calling the shots now. He got to talk Jerry down off the ledge these days. Jerry, go ahead.
I don't know. I personally think, man, this may be different this year. But go ahead, TJ.
I think
y'all say that every year.
Let me qualify. Hold on for a second. Let me qualify because see, DA saying we say it every year. I'm not talking about the season itself. I'm just simply talking about the player. And then now if that's what you're talking to, that we say every year, that we're gonna get rid of Dak. Now, I haven't said it every year.
No.
Personally, the only time I thought that they was gonna transition from Dak was when he was asking after the second contract when he wanted $30-some million. And I kept saying, this dude, give him $33 million, man, because I'm not paying him more than Russell Wilson. But now I'm simply saying I'm gonna be very surprised if Dak Prescott is here after this year, because even he's talking. If y'all heard in the media the other day, he's talking about how he loved to play the game. Right now, this is the team that he's with, but even he has doubts. Because I'm telling you, man, this dude ain't finna pay this man. I told y'all the other day, if y'all recall, somebody gonna be left out.
I was saying it last year.
Somebody's finna get left out.
I said it last year. TJ said it ain't gonna happen.
No,
yeah,
remember, I'm the one who brought up the trade last week about them trading Dak last week. I'm the one who brought that up.
Now I'm talking about the salary cap.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen in salary cap. I don't see it whatsoever. I totally agree with you on that part. And they should, if they're not gonna do that, if they put everybody on the line, they need to go ahead. If they're gonna trade him, because you give Trey Lance an opportunity to start at the beginning of the season and see if he can hold a job. You got Michael Penix backing him up. And if he doesn't, Michael Penix get a year under the belt, get acclimated, and bam, he starts a new trend next year, and he'll be ready to go.
Yeah, and you move Mike McCarthy out.
It's good enough.
Bring in a new head coach or an offensive coordinator at least.
Yep, you got your quarterback, you got your head coach, and you decide what you want to do with Trey Lance. Trey Lance can end up being the backup, but if he don't take over, then he will be the starter. I mean, he'd be the backup, he'd be gone or whatever.
Right.
But he needs to take over the opportunity. This is his last chance. Because that'll be his last chance. He'll be a backup forever if he don't take over.
Well, Sister Peaches say, man, he act like he's not going to be with them next year. He's not going to play with him. That's what I was talking about. She absolutely right, because based on what he was saying, it's kind of like, man, he's doubtful. And of course, he got his brother, his sibling, talking in the media too.
Yeah.
That he hoped that he's not with the Dallas Cowboys. See, all that works for me. I don't have no problem with it. All of that works for me. I want you to get in your feelings. I want you to piss the Joneses off. I want your brother to say whatever
something needs to happen.
Something needs to happen, man. I'm not a part of this certain. I know it's probably a split down the middle between some of the Cowboy Nation, man. It ain't all Dak fault. Dak wasn't on defense. You got those naysayers. But I can tell you this. I've seen Tom Brady, if you all recall that Super Bowl when he had Edelman, I think it was the Falcons still, and he had to match them point for point. Because every time they scored, Brady went down. I mean, you don't need to pile on. Let it be known. Kind of like when Romo and you all recall when Peyton Manning, I don't know if he was still with the Colts. He was still with the Colts at this time. When they threw for five, they was going at it. They was just going at it. I think Romo had like 500 and some yards that day. What I'm simply saying is, dude, we understand that it's 11 players on both sides of the ball. Okay? But you don't have to add to it. Right. We know the defense played like some doo-doo. We understand you can't play both sides. But we've seen this time and time again where you don't elevate your play. You don't elevate your game. You don't do the necessary things between the lines to do what it takes for a superstar quarterback to do to try to even keep your team in the game. Because this thing that's called momentum, just like in basketball, it's one dude. That's why one of my partners said, well, AB, we had him on the show earlier, Anthony, but we used to talk about this. He said, man, NBA, you got to have at least one bad dude. If you got that one bad mofo, he can change the momentum of a game and then galvanize everybody, to play better based on his performance. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you got a quarterback that's still keeping you in it, he's gunslinging that thing, they give him plenty of time to throw the football. So that's not an excuse. But time and time again, we don't see it. We don't see where he not only elevate his game, but he doesn't elevate the players around him. Him and CD they've been butchering people the last few weeks, and now y'all pick a fine time where y'all not on the same page.
Right.
What are we doing here, man? You're gonna pick a fine time to not be on the same page. Where they do that at? Please.
Check this out.
So again, hold on for a second.
Okay.
And so again, I'm just sick of it, dude. I'm not. Tim and I played this game, man, and played at a high level. I'm saying I'm not gonna sit back and watch you do this time. Look, my ex-teammate, college teammate anyway, Seth Joyner once said when he went to Philadelphia Eagles, and I think it was the Eagles they had lost to, I want to say maybe the Chicago, but I can't remember the team at the time. But I remember him coming back saying, when Randall Cunningham came in the locker room, he said, had it not been from, I think it may have been Jerome Brown, God rest his soul, several players, he said he'd have went over there and kicked the dog crap out of Randall Cunningham. Because he said he was packing his bag like, oh, it's vacation, no big deal. You know, it's on to off season, no big deal. And them dudes on defense, Eagles had a boasted defense. They sitting over there pissed off, like, say, man. So you can't tell me. That's why when you hear a little bit of smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire. You hear a little friction. When Michael Parsons was talking about when we lost to y'all last year up there, right? You started hearing how the defense played so well, and then it kind of came out. Michael Parsons was supposed to have said something about Dak, but they try to hush and smooth it all over. There's a reason why our guy Diggs, when they was in training camp this past season, how he was disrespecting Dak. Man, dudes in that locker room know, bro. You can't sugarcoat and gloss over that. Dudes in that locker room know, dude. Say, man, you costing us a game, man. They may not go out there where it said, but you best believe they huddling up over each other, apartments or houses. They should say, man, I'm telling you, they talking, bro. They talking. Go ahead, TJ. You know that's why TJ over there laughing, because he know how it go, man. Dudes, they don't say it in the media, but they talking, bro. I'm telling you,
always talking, man. Always talking, man. And that pain hurts. Guys don't like losing. I'm telling you that, man. I had a whole locker room of guys. We lost the game by 1 point in the playoffs, and them guys were boo-hooing, crying. That's how bad it was, And then there's one other guy who was the quarterback at the time from a school called Syracuse. I won't get into any names or anything like that, but he's from Syracuse.
All right, Don McPherson.
He didn't have any. He didn't have the what's called. He was just as cool, smoking his cigar and all that kind of stuff. These guys are crying and everything like that. So just didn't have that. Don't have that internal fortitude. Don't have that strength of character. And you know what's so funny about it? As I keep thinking about this, I'm kind of coming over to you guys over talking about, hey, put in a relief pitcher in there for Dak in the first quarter, because all he needed to do was bus drive during that time. If he didn't turn the ball over, didn't add to the problem, he could have found his footing, which he ended up doing, right? Say he didn't make the situation worse by throwing a pick six and throwing the other interception so early. Say he didn't make it worse, right? And he just bus drove until he figured it out. Right? Stayed calm, kept his cool demeanor, and wait till he figured it out. And then once he started hitting his shots and started being on target, boom, they have a good chance of coming back. But he threw it extra, made it so far out that it was like, what's going on here, right? So bus driver probably could have did a better job than him. Any bus driver in the league that's a good bus driver. And so even his backup is a good bus driver. He bus drives better than Dak. He just ain't got the big plays like Dak. He can't make the plays that Dak can make, but he bus drives better than that.
But think about it, though, DA. Think about it, TJ. These dudes averaging 35 points a game at the house. So you mean to tell me, that's what I was talking about, momentum. You couldn't do enough to get into a shootout with Love, right? To keep your guys into the game, into the defense. Perhaps maybe they just needed time to figure out. Even though I felt like Dan Quinn had already checked out, prior to going and taking the job for the Washington Commanders now, because he did not put it together. He's too busy on the phone trying to get interviewed for the next job. That's why they need to take a look at that. They should not have them guys, man, interviewing for a next job. When you're in the playoff, you can only interview if you're out of the playoff. They need to do that. They need to seriously do that. But again, that didn't have nothing to do with the offense. The offense side of the ball, where him and CeeDee Lamb is not on the same page. After y'all done average 35 points a game at the house, that was crazy to me, bro. That was seriously crazy to me. So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, DA said it earlier, man. You talk about the guy like he had, deer. He was a deer in headlights. The game, or the magnitude of the game was so big. It was enormously big to where he couldn't, project to his teammates. So I don't want to hear this stuff about where Dak didn't play defense well. I'm talking strictly about the offense. You don't have to, like Tim just said, you don't have to add to the problem, man. Elevate your game, then elevate everybody else around you. Because if you can't do that, then it's time to move on. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, whoever, cut your losses. I don't care who it is. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, or me and Mrs. Jones. Cut your losses. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Go get, if Michael Penix fall to you at 24 or whatever, get that young dude, go with Trey Lance and just put the drafts on your defense. Come back with Mike Zuma on the defense. You know, you still got some work in progress on the offense. You got to get a really solid running back. I ain't like this little signing from the Rams they just signed, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, man, I gotta go with some of the naysayers that's out there talking about how Dallas should grab Michael Penix, because it's very obvious to those who really know you're not going to extend this guy and get this guy $55 or $60 million, man, and you haven't even been in the NFC Championship game. That's just my personal take. But DA, you can close us out on that, man, because we got to get ready to wrap this episode up, guys.
Man, I don't want to talk about y'all no more, man.
Hey, we're gonna get into your.
I want my minute. I want my 60 seconds though.
You got 67. Go 60 seconds. Go.
It's for it ain't for me. This is DA's miscellaneous minute. I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna give y'all two names. I'm gonna give y'all two names. I'm gonna give you two names. I need an answer. Jabril, Aaron Rodgers, or Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers.
Tim.
Aaron Rodgers.
Brett Favre. Barry Sanders or Emmett? Jabril.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders. LL or Kumo D?
LL.
LL.
Kumo D. Biggie or Pop?
Pop.
I'm a Pop guy. I like
Biggie.
music.
I'm Biggie. I'm Biggie all the way.
I like Biggie music.
Ali or Tyson?
Ali.
Tyson, man. Whew.
And y'all crazy. You crazy.
Last one. Dame Time or Jimmy Buckets?
Dame Time.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy
playoff.
Huh? No, I just mean as players. I don't mean in the play. I'm mean as players.
When I think about a player, I think about how they rise the game up in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Jimmy for the playoffs.
Oh,
I'm
Jimmy.
thinking playoffs.
I'll take Jimmy.
Y'all both taking Jimmy?
Yeah, that's
I'm taking Dame. But
that's
Dame, man, I wish you get another 60 seconds to make me understand why would you take Mike Tyson over Ali, but okay.
If both in their prime, I think Tyson will knock him out.
Nah, he wasn't knocking him out because he was in their prime. That was when he was in the 60s before he went to take that break. He wouldn't get to him. When he was that person, you couldn't get to him.
I think Tyson would. I think Tyson can get to him. I think
Tyson could get to him at that time. He was so quick. No matter how strong he was,
I'm just saying that's
educating. Not in his prime.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's giving their opinion.
Thinking about the 70s when he was fighting Foreman and all of them. He was different then. He lost his speed. Them 4 years, he lost his speed from his prime. So a lot of people forget that part. He took 4 years away. When you said prime though, when he was in his prime, he was so quick and so fast, and he was long, and he could stay. He could dance the whole match. He could dance. Your boy would have been so tired. Hold on, he would have danced him all the way to about the 8th, 9th round, and then he would have finished him off with a combination.
All that verbal diarrhea we just heard don't change nothing in my mind.
Okay, but DA, let me say this though, man. Let me say, because we could probably come back and revisit. I want you to keep that. I like that.
Man, I got a million of them. That's DA's miscellaneous minute.
Okay, but real quick, there's two of them. I'm gonna throw in there real quick just to add on to it, and I'm gonna do this real quick. DA, TJ, DA, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Michael Jackson.
New Edition or the Jackson 5?
New Edition.
Jackson 5.
Okay, I'm taking Mike Jack and I'm taking Jackson 5. And on that note, I'm going to be sending paramedics over to DA, man, because I think something going on with him. I told him earlier, man, I don't think he's going to take Prince over Michael Jack. Guys, let me tell y'all something, man. We got to do that more because Pete said Michael Jackson any day. There you go, Pete. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't know.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
The Peaches was dropped on her head as a baby. You didn't know that part.
What,
I ain't
but
gonna
he
let you
ain't
do
going
that,
the same
man. I'm
generation
not gonna
as
let
us.
you do that to sis. I'm not gonna let you do that, man. She know exactly what she's talking about, man.
I'm with you.
She know
Sis.
exactly
I think DA was born in a different generation than us. I don't know what happened to him. I think he had clouds in his eyes, or somebody shielded him or something, or put a blanket over his head. Did they call you blanket when you was
man.
Prince, man. Mike, I don't even know who Michael Jackson was. Like, who was he? Like, do we even know him? Do we even know
man,
who
you know
he
what?
was? What
Michael
shade?
did it for so long. He did it for your whole entire life.
Okay, next time we're gonna go on shade. What shade of Michael Jackson versus Prince?
We're gonna do that because I'm gonna have to play the outro on that. Maybe we can give people a poll, man. Y'all forget, man. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is a replay where we try to make you guys' day, man. We hope y'all enjoy the show. We're gonna continue to bring y'all content. We'll be back on God with us this Thursday. So big shout out, man, to my co-host, man, Dara Alexander the Great, Tim Axel Jackson, and even though our boy Jeff Cook won the baddest part, was not with us, he's still with us, guys. So again, don't forget to tell a friend. And always, I like to say, y'all know to keep God first. This has been another edition of the replay. Again, hit that like, subscribe, the share button, and that notification. And we're going to see y'all on Thursday. All right? God bless and be at peace.
All right. Blessing you to you all.